Okay, so this is the third time that I've filmed this video because the first two times got deleted because I don't have enough storage on my phone, so now I'm using my sister's phone to film this. So hopefully this will go well. But anyway, okay, so for the third time. Good morning, class. Welcome back to class. Today we are going to be learning about occupations, jobs. We're going to be learning about occupations, okay? So we're going to be learning mostly about occupations in the country of Senegal and occupations that I've seen here that are pretty popular. So ones that you guys will be familiar with. So the first one, I'm going to be showing pictures and we're going to be talking about what each person is and what their occupation is, and So there are about 12 occupations. I want you guys to write down, I've already written them down because of previous lessons, the same lesson that I taught before, but I will be writing them on the board and you guys will then write down the word in your little notebooks, okay? You can write down the word in French next to it if you want to help you remember it, but we're gonna be learning the words in English, of course. So the first occupation is a maid. So a maid, what is a maid? What does a maid do? A maid cleans and sometimes cooks. Yes, they work in your house cleaning for pay. The second person is a tailor. Yes, so the second person is a tailor. So write it down, written it on the board. You can copy the word tailor. And what does a tailor do? A tailor sews things. Yes, they make clothes. That's what a tailor is. And another word for it is seamstress. That's what you call a woman who sews. A woman who sews, a seamstress. Or a man who sews, a tailor. And then the third one is pretty common. You guys should get this. The words are pretty similar in both French and English. This is, yes, a police. A policeman or a policewoman. Police. Fourth is a vendor. A vendor or a seller. A vendor, yes, someone who sells things on the street or in a boutique or a store. This is a doctor. Yes, a doctor helps people who are sick. This is a barber. Yes, someone who cuts hair. And this is a teacher, someone who teaches someone how to learn things, English, math, science. This is a welder. Yes, someone who works with metal and cuts metal, like that. These people are construction workers. Yes, they build things like houses and buildings. These people are cooks. They make food. This is a farmer. Yes, they work out in the fields, growing crops. And last but not least, these are musicians. A musician, yes, people who play music, instruments. Okay, so great. Now that we've gone over some of those things and we've written them down on the board and in our booklets, and you can either draw something next to the word that helps you relate it to the word, or you can write the word next to it in French just to help you remember and to help you kind of memorize what the word is. I'll be keeping these words up on the board though, so we'll be able to see them as we go about in class. As we go about the lesson today. And the first activity that we're going to be doing is I'm gonna have volunteers come up and act out some of these occupations that we just learned about. So I want a volunteer to come up and act out one of the occupations. I can give you an idea of one of the occupations to act out, or you can just choose which one you want to do. And the others of you guys, the rest of the students, have to guess what they're doing. We're gonna do that a few times with a bunch of different students. Okay, great. Go. Okay, you guys did great with that activity. So now we're going to be doing another activity where you guys are all gonna pair up. So I want everyone to pair with another person, and you're gonna ask each other 3 questions. The first question you're going to ask, sorry, it's a little loud. The first question you're going to ask is, do you know someone with one of these occupations? The second question you're going to ask is, if you had to choose one, what would it be and why? One of these occupations, what would you choose and why? The third one is, which one of these occupations would you not choose to do and why? So good job, guys, with those conversations. I heard some good conversations going on. You guys did a good job with those questions and answering those questions and asking those questions. So now we are going to be, I'm going to be showing you guys a video, and it's not exactly talking about occupations, but there are occupations, and it's kind of an inspirational video about making an impact. That's what it's titled. And you guys are going to be taking notes about the occupations and jobs that you see throughout the video, and then I'm going to ask you what those are at the end of the video. So this is it. It's just a 2.5 minute video.
When we're laying on our deathbed, you're not going to worry about how much money you had, how much power you had, how much prestige. You're going to see that that was all game, that was all an illusion. The only thing that's going to matter is the impact you had on other people's lives.
We are all on a separate journey. But the beautiful thing about our life here on this earth is at my funeral, they ain't gonna talk about my success. They're gonna talk about who Nick was, and how Nick lived, and how Nick loved and encouraged.
Success is incredibly important, but even more important than success, it's having an impact. It's knowing you haven't walked the planet in vain. It's knowing that because you've been here, you've blessed lives, you've developed people, and you have made the world a better place.
The effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart.
Life is a mirror, and life gives us not what we want. Life gives us who we are. When you were born, you cried while the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice.
Okay, so I know that was a lot. There was a lot in that video. But what were some of the occupations? Sorry. What were some of the occupations that you guys saw in that video that we talked about today? Cook, yes. Vendor, and doctor, yes. So those were some really good ones. Those are some I noticed as well. But basically the video was talking about how our occupations, because we've been talking a lot about occupations today and learning about what people do with those and what they are in English and what we call them. And we've been talking, you guys have been having conversations about what occupations you would want to have and would not want to have, or people you know who have those different occupations. But the video is basically talking about how it doesn't matter the kind of success we have or the kind of jobs that we have here on this earth. It matters how we live our lives and how we love others, and that's what the Bible talks about too, how we live for Christ and show love to others. The first most important commandments: love God and love others. And so at the end of the day, what our occupation or our job is, it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't have, it's not going to last forever. Our lives are not going to last forever. But how we show love to others and care for others, that's really what's going to last and what's going to matter. So if you guys want to talk or have any questions about that after the class, I'd be really happy to talk to you guys about that, answer any questions, or talk more about the video if you'd like to. But we're going to move on now to our next little game we have, which is called Who Am I? So you guys are actually going to write, you guys are all going to choose an occupation, or an occupation that you want me to have, kind of person that I am, the job that I do. And I'm going to hold the paper above my head, and then I'm going to ask questions. Who am I? I'm going to ask questions about what I do. Yes or no questions. So do I cook? Do I teach? Do I make food? Do I help people when they're sick? Questions like that, and you will answer me yes or no, and then I'll guess what I am. Okay, so good job with that, guys. So now you guys are going to be doing that for each other, actually. I've written all the occupations in a hat. I'm going to be passing them out, and you guys will be asking each other yes or no questions in order to figure out who you are. Okay, guys, so great job with that. So for the last thing today, we're going to, you're each going to have a piece of paper, and you're going to go ahead and write. Put your notebooks and pens away, and you're going to go ahead and write, and I'm going to take this off the board. You're going to go ahead and write occupations and a little something next to it that relates to that occupation, kind of like what we did earlier, because I just want to see if you guys know what the word is and what exactly the occupation is and what people do with that occupation. So either draw a little picture or write something next to it that relates to that occupation. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for coming to class today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.